Hello everybody, welcome back to another Spec Tech. Today we have the Nintendo Switch Lite. Yes, I'm doing a video about the Lite before the actual regular Switch because I don't feel like hooking it up to the TV, so we're doing the Lite first. So, this is actually my second Lite. So looking at the device, it's very small compared to a regular Nintendo Switch, which I have right here. It's definitely a big size difference. And don't worry, the screen's not filthy. It's just a screen protector. You know, clean it off. Don't really use the Switch that much. But yeah, going just by profile alone, even just the tablet side of it is obviously this is gonna have a bigger screen. I don't have an OLED model to compare, but the OLED's obviously gonna be the biggest one of them all. But as you can see, the Switch Lite is more rounded for long sessions of play compared to basically no ergonomics at all, except for the Joy-Cons on the Nintendo Switch, which is one of the reasons why I usually just use the stand that I'm filming this on to hold the Switch up, why I have like a Pro controller synced up, because the Joy-Cons are shit, but I'll be talking about that in my own dedicated Switch video, which I'll make eventually. But the Switch Lite obviously has built-in controls, and to be honest, I think the Switch Lite is a way better product, like quality control wise and ergonomically. You can always buy third-party grips for like the regular Switch, but man, it's literally just a flat square. At least this has some grips back here. I mean, it's not the best. It could be better. The lack of a kickstand on here is kind of lame, but I mean, just isn't really made for tabletop gaming sessions anyways. It's supposed to be like the equivalent of carrying around a DS. But I will say, like, holding a Nintendo DS is way more comfier because you got these smooth curves on the outside that just makes this thing way more comfortable. Plus the weight of it is about perfectly balanced. I'm only using this 3DS because I ended up selling the XL, so this is my main point of reference now for any 3DS related comparisons. So I would say the 3DS is significantly more comfortable to hold than any other Nintendo handheld. But this still works. I've been playing this a lot recently. The screen's pretty damn good, I would say. Since it's smaller, it's a little bit more sharper than a regular Switch. I think the regular Switch screen is actually kind of mediocre. I mean, it was fine in 2017, but in 2023, it definitely does not hold up that well, especially compared to, like, obviously the OLED and even like a Steam Deck. I would say the regular Switch doesn't really hold up. I mean, I guess it's fine, but also, I definitely think a big improvement on the Lite is the speakers. The speakers on the original Switch, I feel like didn't get enough like flack. They were it was pretty bad. They were not very good. You basically needed headphones. This thing got really quiet. I should do a sound comparison, but you know, I'm a little lazy. But here, we're going to Smash Ultimate here. The speakers they're alright. Alright, we don't want to get copyrighted, so we're gonna kill that. But yeah, a couple of complaints I do have about the Switch Lite is that it still only has 32 gigs of internal storage, which is kind of lame, especially considering this came out in 2019. They could have updated the eMMC to at least 64. I know OLED did, but I think handheld dedicated basically for a handheld mode only should have more storage space to store more games. The lack of a kickstand is pretty jarring, and the fact that you can't connect this to the TV at all, like, I'm surprised Nintendo didn't try to like nickel and dime us by making an exclusive like Lite dock or something that you could buy for like $90 separately. there's no way to do it unless you get like a phone screen and you project the phone screen to a Miracast TV and you like use Bluetooth controllers, like, or you hack it. Which hacking the Switch Lite is something I want to do eventually. I don't know how to do any of that soldering or anything inside of here, so I'm hoping to find a modding service. If I do, I probably will do a revisit to this. But for now, honestly, I'm pretty content with this, considering I didn't even really pay much for this. This one was about $150 at a local game store, but I traded in a bunch of stuff, so it was technically free, but I traded in a lot of old stuff that I used to have. But I definitely like having the Switch Lite again. I need to get a screen protector on this one. The screen protectors for the Switch Lite have seemed to gone up a bit. They used to be like $5 to $6 for just kind of a decent one. That's how much I paid for this one, and obviously it's doing its job. But that seemed to be like $13 to $15, which, I mean, I guess you're paying a bit more for quality, but I'm kind of cheap. Another complaint I have about this thing is that there's no vibration at all. Like, that's kind of, I don't know, it feels kind of lazy considering the Wii U gamepad was basically like a little handheld, and even that had vibration in it. Like, I don't feel like it could have been that hard to just have a little bit of like a vibration on at least like a little tiny motor on this side, a little tiny motor on this side, but it's not the biggest deal because you can just Bluetooth connect Joy-Cons or a Pro controller or a third-party controller. It does feel a little weird though. So one of the main selling points of the original Switch is the HD rumble, and this does not have that at all, which is a bit jarring. At least you do get gyro and amiibo support on the right stick, which is nice. And I think another con, which I don't really think is that big of a deal anymore, is that if any sticks get drift, basically you gotta send the whole unit in to get repaired now. Which, I mean, honestly, it's not that bad a deal. They if you go on Nintendo's like support website and open a ticket or whatever, they will buy you a label and they will give you everything you need, and you can send it in for literally free and they will repair it. And I had a bunch of Joy-Cons that were fucked, and before I wanted to sell them, I wanted to have them fixed, so I sent them all in and they came back in like less than a week, not even a week. But there's a difference between just, sending in some cheap controllers compared to the whole system. Like, if I didn't have multi-system, and because if I had to send this in because of the stick drifts, I mean, I have a backup, but you shouldn't have to do that. Like, the 3DS, none of my 3DSs have ever had like slider drift. My Vita has never had any analog stick problems. My Wii U doesn't even have any analog stick problems, or like Wii Classic controller, none of that stuff. So I don't know, if that does ever happen, I'll probably have to send this in. But honestly, I do like the Switch Lite. I prefer playing it over the regular Switch. Does have better battery life. The speakers are nice. The screen's well lit, and you don't have to deal with that auto brightness stuff, which is, I guess, could be kind of a con. Obviously you need an SD card. I made this my primary Switch. That way you don't have to deal with the online check-in stuff when I go somewhere. To be honest, I only use my regular Switch for commercial backups and Smash Ultimate online mods. So that's really the only function I use it for anymore. So having all my old personal purchase games on here is a lot more convenient for me. So I definitely don't mind having a Switch Lite as a main console. I've been playing this more than the 505 or the 351V lately. It's just been kind of fun to revisit my library, because when you have like a smaller library of games on here, you kind of appreciate the games a little bit more compared to like an emulation device where you just download a bunch of ROMs. You're like, maybe I'll play this. Where really, to be honest, the only thing keeping me going back to those devices is retro achievements. Like, otherwise I probably would have sold them already by now. But yeah, the Switch Lite, I'm gonna give an A. There's a couple cons that keep it from being in like A+, but if you can find one of these pre-owned from at least like $120, I would say get it. It's a killer deal. You get access to the whole Switch library. The only thing like really incompatible is the Nintendo Labo stuff, and I don't think anybody really wants to do that these days. And maybe that Mario Kart Live game, I'm not sure. I'm not spending $70 on a RC car, so I don't know. But most of like the big games will run fine on here. You can play Tears of the Kingdom on here, but I'm a Smashy, so as this for a reason it's for Smash. But yeah, I'm gonna give this thing an A. So yeah, thanks for watching.